Hi, YouTube. I'm just getting things going on Twitter. Hang on a second. There we go. All right. This different laptop and YouTube webcam has me unhappy that it shows the wall and the tapestry. Oh well, nothing to do about it now. That's fine. Hello. Thank you for being here. The post just sent on Twitter that I started the live. It's been a little while since we've been live. Thank you for jumping on, whoever is here, moderator, and whoever is going to be joining and watching the replay later. I just thought I would come on for a little bit and see what wants to come through as far as transmission. There's been significant energetic attack attempts lately. Lots of spiritual warfare happening that feels like it's relevant to talk about. There is no chat during my Twitter lives. I think I have that disabled simply because when I am transmitting and actually bringing forth a stream, I need to not be distracted by chat. And it's why there's a moderator over on YouTube who can look at the YouTube chat for me. So just in case anybody was wondering, we've disabled that feature. And actually, on Samsung, it didn't work. On Android, it didn't work for a long time anyway. It was a bug, a known glitch, and it now works, and I've chosen not to do it. So I am going to kind of settle into the space and feel into what is asking to be shared. And I guess I need to talk about the Nephilim, which is what we talked about. I've written about this once, and it's coming up quite a bit. The Nephilim are not a single thing that I am scared of in the slightest, but it is coming up. There's new information being shared about this umbrella group. So this is a title that involves many affiliated lineages. And it's been coming up in my work quite a bit lately. And I've had lots of information stream in about it. And nothing is ever a coincidence. So there has been more shared energetically with me. I was led to somebody who's done a lot of work in this area about the Nephilim, or the offspring of angelic lineages that had come into a belief that they were separated from God and thus created and manifested that in every aspect of their beingness, created when they tried to breed or hybridize with the organic angelic human population as well. So this has been coming up quite a bit. We have had multiple Nephilim possessed or Nephilim presenting individuals follow on Twitter in particular recently. And the Nephilim do present like clowns and jesters and jokers and tricksters and your fun DMT machine elves and all of that stuff. Those are typically lineages that are stuck here, that we're here to assist in the soul retrieval methodology. So unlike the Christians believe, it does seem as though they can be returned to source, even if they were not created by God or by God's source. They are of this cosmos and of this universe. And as such, we are here on a massive soul retrieval mission. Yes, they have done very bad things, and they've been doing very bad things for a long time. This is coming up a lot. If you are somebody who came as a master level soul or a very advanced soul who sent a piece of yourself to incarnate on this earth to help in this big soul retrieval mission that we are all on, and you agreed to clarify or purify the soul shard or a soul piece of one of these individuals or groups or lineages within your body, in order to provide a transcendent ascension path for them. And that part has since taken you over or changed your mind, and you have become possessed or controlled by this entity or individual. Please know that there is help for you, but it will not come from me if you send inappropriate emails, messages, if you have pornographic material on your Twitter page, especially gay porn material. The Nephilim possessed person who followed me yesterday had significant, and nothing against, those of you who like porn. I'm just saying this isn't the way to get my attention. It was essentially trying to inflame me or do something that feels like it would be inflammatory to get the pretty lady's attention is not going to get you the attention that you want. So if you are somebody who's been possessed or is being controlled by a Nephilim or other demonic or alien or fallen angelic soul piece who is in need of assistance, the proper way to get assistance from me is still to book a session. That's the only way to get my attention. It is the only way to get my assistance. You book a session. You do not email me. You do not comment hello on things. You do not email me and pretend you're somebody else or that I'm somebody else and give me your phone number. You still go through the proper channels and you book a session. And in fact, those of you who know that you have multiple pieces inside you that are warring and fighting need to book a targeted individual session with myself and Yael. So Yael 1111 is my primary quantum energy work collaborator and partner, and we offer a joint session at $600. It is probably the only session you will ever need to get free of this. We'll be sharing more publicly about this, but we've done many of them privately behind closed doors with a little bit of a quieter energy to this. And we do occasionally offer this, and it is a December offering that we are extending to the public. So if you know that you are fighting a possession or a negative and malevolent walk-in that has gotten majority control of you, and you want to be free, you inquire about how to get either a targeted individual session, or you go through and you book a package of quantum clearing. And that's the only way to get my assistance. It doesn't matter if you don't have any money. I'm not the person to help you. I am a mother of 4. This is my job. This is how you get my help. So this is my job. You have to pay me in order to get me to assist you because of the world we live in. So that is how this goes for those of you who are new follows and have been trying to get my attention because you want help. Now, frequently with regular clients, a demonic that is traveling the lineage with their line is who books the session, because many demonic entities are really bored, tired of being here, and want to go back to God. I have not met one yet that has not been happy to see me, and they're often the driving force. Let me off this ancestral chain. I am tired of this. I did not like this assignment. I want to be at peace. I want to be free. This world has gone too far. Those are the types of energies and messages that I get from a variety of entities that many would think of as demonic. And I'm not afraid of them, and I'm not afraid of you. So to the men who emailed me recently, you better check yourself. And I mean that in all seriousness. That will not be happening again. So if you want help, you book a session. My booking link is in my bio and in my pinned post. So is my email to inquire about booking a joint targeted individual session in which Yael and I hold such a secure container that nothing gets in that shouldn't be in. And we remove and release everything that is for your most benevolent, highest good. And we would be happy to assist you with that. So again, that's $600 for a 90-minute session, 75 to 90 minutes. It occasionally goes 5 or 10 minutes over if the work is still continuing, but that would be the time frame that you would need to have allotted in your schedule. So again, welcome. Thank you guys for being here. I decree and declare that this container is created, infused, and protected by the essence and light of Creator, Great Spirit, the Holy and Divine Mother, Father of the cosmos. I call in and thank with everlasting gratitude the Mary, the Black Madonna, the womb and tomb, the Mother, and her Son, Yeshua, the living embodiment of the Spirit of the Christ. I thank you for your modeling of the way, which is the compassionate, awakened, aware heart and womb. We thank all the ancestors, as in the real lineage and soul ancestors, both past and future, of those present today, for their space holding, support, and loving guidance. We are here to activate and build upon the wisdom codes that are every cell of these bodies, as we presently embody the sum total of all who came before us and all who will come after us. As such, in gentle yet firm declaration, all siphoning ancestral spirits, other earthbound entities such as Nephilim, affiliated energies, ghosts, other disembodied humans who are confused or in distortion, all non-human intelligence and AI, and including PI, we need to include plasma intelligence, that have been placed for tracking, monitoring interference that has not been given conscious consent and is not for the highest good of the person involved. All of those, there has to be consent, and it has to be for the highest good in order for it not to be removed and released today. Demonic and alien oppression, suppression, possession, walk-ins, attachments, interferences, and all other sorts of things and energies that are not for the highest good of those present today, known and unknown to me, will be guided to the appropriate place for the amalgamation of their energies throughout the course of this session today. So thank you for being here. I am going to settle in, I think, and really connect to the collective Quantum Akash and talk a little bit about upcoming themes, concepts, energies that are sort of coming up right now to be addressed. It feels like what the Akash wants me to touch on is kind of expanding upon the topic that I've shared about at length before regarding this time of year and the commercialization of days that you are being told are holy and the overconsumption and energy extraction associated with this time of year. And I think it's worth stating that I'm not going to elaborate too much. I've written about this at length over the last few years. I've transmitted about it here. Please be aware that the holidays are typically not holy, and you do not need a special day to observe and love and connect and commune with your family or your loved ones and your understanding of the divine. So I live in the same world that you do. I wind up having to participate in a minimal way because of my children. However, it is from a very, very mindful, heartful, and sacred, holy, discerning place because of what's really intending to occur underneath the human intention of togetherness. There's also a lot of human intention to get stuff and have what they want and eat a lot of food, so much that you feel sick. And there's a lot of energy extraction and spending money that one does not have to spend on presents that nobody really needs, but people have come to feel entitled to and expect. So there's a lot going on here, and there's significant energetic extraction of the souled, angelic, original, divine humans who are here. And participate all you want, but do so from a place of extreme care and discernment. That goes for all, no matter what religion you are or are not. It goes for all of it during this time of year, from October through mid-January. Really, I would even include Valentine's Day. So October through February, there's a ploy to get us fat, complacent, and sick. So lots of energy can be extracted. And that is just all there is to it. Consumerism, get people unhappy and disconnected, while the surface level says this is a time of connection. So please be aware and plan your engagement with this time of year in an appropriate and loving way that is respectful to yourself and your own capacity. Because the other thing that I see as being significantly problematic that the Akash has had me speak on a time or two before is people being pushed beyond their capacity, and not being able to hold boundaries or set healthy parameters for difficult, tense family situations, or even just family situations in which too much is being asked of you. So that's been coming up quite a bit lately, for quite a few of my private session clients as well, in my own life, in my observation of this world or of this culture that I live in. So just bring awareness with an open heart and your sword of discernment. So that's something that's being repeated within my consciousness that I'm being called to speak on, is the requirement for being humble and strong and confident with the sword of truth. So a lack of genuine humility is often a major blockage to seeing yourself in any kind of a radical honesty and accountability. And that's another thing that I speak on often. And the Akash says there's about 8 of you listening right now who need to get in touch with the paradox of being in humility while also being strong and confident in who and what you are. And I strive to bring this paradox into the forefront of all my work. I approach with humility as a servant and also as the Divine Mother incarnate. So I come as both and all in the paradox and hold the tension of being in humility while also knowing who and what exactly I am holding and aspecting. And there is a call for this requirement. This is to be required of the people who are evolving. You cannot be in an unintegrated, immature place of ego in which you run from your own accountability work, your own shadow. Yeah, and I love the shadow. But if you're not integrating it, it's controlling you and harming yourself and others. You cannot be in a place of true knowledge of who and what you are and the power that you're walking in if you can't hold a spirit of humility when you are facing and communing with something like the Akashic Godhead or the divine mother, the Christ energy. So that's been coming up often too. Can you hold both? And if you can't, what do you need to do to come into a place of initiating into being able to hold both? because it is a requirement for where we're going, which in my gnosis is ancient future Tara Earth. And it might not be us. It may be our children. And I've said before, I'm not going to leave this place in the energetic mess I found it in for my kids to have to deal with. But we are the shift. We are they. We are those we've been seeking. And in order for this to be successful and the collective to agree to collectively co-render the appropriate proper timelines for this rebuilding of the semi-etheric version of Earth, or the higher, there's no new Earth, there's only this Earth and what we do with her and how we steward her. Shift back into Tara, she's going to do it with or without us, because she's on her own forbearing, and allowed humanity to come along for the ride when we have often failed her. And there's to be no more failing her. And there's only to be listening to her wisdom and calling in the Christed masculine, the Christed Sophia, and living it and being radically accountable and in a spirit of humility as we do the work we came to do. I hope that that is something that lands for you. Radical accountability, authentic honesty. This is important stuff. This is how you come into a mature understanding of your little s self and your capital S self. It's important work, and I still engage in it many hours a week. You have to call yourself on your own stuff. You have to begin to be able to see yourself from the view of the other and the view of the God force. So that's some of what's been coming up a lot for me to share with you and talk about. Let's see what else. There's a purple ribbon of sovereignty that's circling around about 4 of the people who are listening right now, being initiated into the true purple, the high frequency, deep and wide bandwidth of the purple sovereign cosmos color that the Akash uses to assign or to delineate that there's a sovereignty initiation happening. What else? Allowing this season to be a more restful time, if that is where and how you feel the call of your own heart and your own physical body capacity to be leading, is really important. Consider finding ways to add light and get a particular type of light on your body. I'm being very careful as to what I say, because we have realized that anytime I talk about health, a certain company owned by goo suppresses or hides things. So considering that where I live, we don't have nearly as much as we usually do because of the season that we're in, I am going to recommend that if you are in a similar part of the world as I am in, you need to figure out how to get more light on your skin and how to supplement that light appropriately with other words that I will not say because I'm tired of the suppression. So I think you get my drift. This is the time of year that we need to do that. And it comes up in the Akash in private readings often that this is important. It's an important key. We still do not know all, we have not yet identified all of the processes and, if you will, hormones or other things that are produced within the physical body when we receive enough light on the body. So I think that says enough about that. What else today? So I'm seeing white wolf, kind of an archetypal power animal. I know our moderator on YouTube is generally fairly connected with the wolf archetype, or has been at times. It feels like, okay, there's 3 of them. So there are 3 of you here who are being invited into closer connection with this archetypal representation. I'll just offer that. Someone named Gladys is saying hello to a relative. She is functioning as a loved one or familial ancestor, as in an actual blood lineage ancestor who is within the collective and individual Akash of this individual, of this person. Because the Akash is love and is the holographic representation of the quantum of all that is and all that might be and all that was and everything that could be and is here, now, there, when, then, everywhere, nowhere, everything and nothing. Occasionally, we do have a time when I am asked to bring forth things like tonight's session or tonight's talk that are not just love and light. Okay, well, I'm never just love and light. But there are topics that we have to talk about, like spiritual warfare, discernment. We are in a time of discernment having to be completely on point. There is no more ignorance allowed. We are moving beyond. We are moving beyond the time when I didn't know any better, for at least the people that are drawn to my material, is going to be accepted as an excuse any longer. We are waymakers, pathfinders, way showers. And as such, discernment is one of the key and primary tools and concepts that we need to be wielding and working with. And self-discernment is radically important. So here we are, back to radical accountability and honesty, authenticity and ethics about the self. In compassion and grace, how you can discern well outside of you is by discerning well inside of you. How we change things in this world begins with changing things within and about the self. Be open to new perspectives. Be open to the constant sacred paradox of finding out that 2 things that oppose one another, that absolutely contradict each other, down here, you can zoom out objectively and see that they are both true. It will happen to you more and more and more all the time. We live in a realm of paradox. We are the marriage of paradox. As the blending and marriage of spirit and matter, we have created a realm of paradox. It is everywhere, it is sacred, and it is confusing for those who are not fully initiated into it. And that is what many of you are being called to do right now, is initiate into this deeply. Crucially, it's important. You are needed, you are cared for, you are valued. The Akash is wanting me to kind of touch on loneliness a little bit. I know a lot of people do get lonely or feeling a deep yearning and a deep longing for kinship, connection, friendship, deep, abiding acceptance. And I guess what I'm being led to say about acceptance is, again, if you are seeking acceptance on the outside, it means that you need to work within the self into a place of self-acceptance. And then you're going to see this create, or you yourself will create this condition on the outside with other connections. It's not that wanting to be accepted is wrong or bad, but expecting and demanding acceptance from others when things you are doing or the way you are living is simply unacceptable is not okay. So, for instance, we might mention, as an example, a 45-year-old husband who thinks that he does not have to help with the children because he works. He makes more money than she does, therefore he gets to come home and put his feet up and play video games and not help with the kids or with house chores or really at all. And then he also thinks, as the unintegrated man baby that he is, that he can demand sex a minimum of 4 times a week or some nonsense like that. Hello, little, what is this? There's like a little gnat or something that flew by, honoring the stream today. So anyway, that's an example of somebody whose lived behavior is affecting others, everybody in that individual's family, in a way that is simply unacceptable. So you cannot demand others accept you when what you're doing is unacceptable. So that typically means that there's unintegrated parental wounding that you need to go on a deep dive of inner work. You can't outsource that onto a wife or a girlfriend or your mother or a counselor, though maybe those people in the right setting may be able to hold some space for some of your processing. I am going to speak directly to the masculine here, as this is something that comes up a lot in my sessions with women. Fortunately, it's not something that I myself am living or experiencing right now. And I feel that I need to place this caveat because it has been shocking to me about how, when I am writing from the perspectives of somebody who is very experienced, very initiated, and sits with many people in private closed container often, how often other people are either paranoid and think I'm talking about them directly, or they assume I'm writing from my own personal experience and think everything I'm saying is about me and my own life, when neither of those things are generally ever true at all in the slightest. So, in fact, I have released a couple of clients. I feel like the Akashic is telling me to add this. I have released a couple of clients over the last few years when they have developed paranoia and thinking that something that I'm writing in general that had nothing to do with them was about them at all. So do know that this is a problem, and I've spoken with other practitioners who have found that they have been approached similarly, where people think that either they're writing about their own personal experience or they're calling out a client or somebody they know directly, when neither is accurate. But anyway, that was just one example. The other example would be a case where, what would another example be of behavior that's unacceptable? Say a 35-year-old mother is an alcoholic, and dad is pulling, the spouse or partner is pulling the weight, working full-time, tending to the children, caring for everybody's needs, and she's demanding acceptance and respect, respect, love, and an ongoing enabling. That's another situation in which, while she is loved, that behavior is simply unacceptable in the way that it is affecting her family and her close loved ones. So just some examples of, like, you cannot demand acceptance from others when the work is within you, in order to come into doing the work that you need to accept yourself and to love yourself. So I hope that that's helpful, or that lands for some of you. I've been getting lots of, I guess I don't want to say like super tough love, but really like plain spoken truth that could be interpreted as having some elements of tough love in it for the collective, because it's just, we're coming into a time where everybody can be working on a self-reflection. Everybody should be committing to frequent clearing. And really, like, it's time to put the delusions down. I was reading a comment from somebody just on a YouTube video I was looking at earlier. And this person had commented how right before the vid happened in 2019, he had been noticing that it was like we were a population of zombies. Nobody was in connection. Nobody was in real communication with those around them. People seemed, even though I don't believe in this terminology, people seemed like NPCs, and everybody was just walking around with their phone here or VR goggles on. And he was talking about how for a little while, the vid kind of shook everything up a little bit, and people seemed to come back while there was trauma involved. People seemed to come back into this reality and went through a process of trying to sift through what is delusion, what is real, what is not real, and how do we navigate in this world of so much delusion and falsehood. And I'm going to tell you, we are the apocalypse. When I tell you we are the shift, I mean it. The Akashic has been telling me for years that not only are we having an individual apocalypse, that we are the driving force of the collective apocalypse that is needed, that has been happening. And it is a high, expanded, deep, and important calling. And if you are busy in a world of your own making, a world of delusion, a world in which you refuse radical accountability, how are you bringing the apocalypse forward into all of humanity so that we can do the work we came to do, to soul retrieve, to expand, to evolve, to expand even when it's a time of contraction? It's an important time, and you are needed. And if you are lonely, I want to tell you that I understand. I have experienced periods of my life where I was very lonely, and even surrounded by people, just a deep yearning, a deep felt sense of a connection that I almost remembered that I couldn't find here in this world. And the way to fill that yearning, to meet that need, is to develop a deep, abiding relationship and connection with the divine, the true, sacred creator, creatress. I like the phrasing that Neil Douglas Klotz used, Mother, Father of the Cosmos, the Abwoon. Actually, I think he says Father, Mother, but I've had to switch it because woman brings the masculine forth from her womb. So there's nobody else who can fill you. There's nobody else who can ultimately make that yearning go away. It's you. You're longing for yourself and for source. And it's within you, and you can develop this connection within yourself and without yourself. And there are people who would love to come into some kind of community with you. Oftentimes, what was potentially intended for harm, we find that we alchemize and will catalyze into good. So while I think there have been harmful things related to the increase of social media and the internet, look at all of the connection and community that has grown as a result of it. Because many people who are aware and awake are strategically placed around the world for specific reasons related to spiritual and energetic assignment, plan, purpose. I won't get into that today, but there are many people who have felt alone and lonely. And by using and connecting with other people, other souled angelic parts of humanity online, and finding common interests, a lot of times you can develop connections that are very, very important and can help fill some of that loneliness. But you still have to do your own work, your extensive clearing, establishing connection with the divine, with your understanding and comprehension of God, being willing to grow, being willing to evolve, being willing to look at things a different way and understand that you might have not had it all right yesterday and you're learning more. We are all student and teacher. I'm master initiator and student learner. And I know that that's part of the paradox. So anyway, I feel like this is what was wanting to come through tonight. I decided not to offer, or maybe I did offer yesterday, but nobody reached out for a mini session today, which is fine. I'm going to be live a little bit less frequently. And when I do go live, unless it's for a very, what I'd like to do is, if you guys are interested in a mini Akashic session delivered via a live stream like this, those are $35 through the end of the year. January 1st, they go up to $44. They're 15 to 20 minutes. You do not appear on camera with me. I just deliver the live. Your name remains anonymous. I deliver the mini reading live. So if you are interested, you can email me at any time to get one of those reserved for the next time I will go live. Most weeks I'm going to go live once or twice, at least through this season. I may jump on during a random afternoon if I'm feeling led to talk on something or share a message. But as far as like Akashic lives, those will be once, sometimes twice a week. But probably we're going to settle at once a week. But anytime you want one of those, you can reach out to me and we will schedule it. Also, I have 3 December promos, small promos on my booking page. I have brought back my recorded Akashic mini readings. So if you would like your own private reading, and you don't want it delivered via live, I am offering a 20-minute option for a very low ticket cost. I think it's $62. Keep in mind that my 1-hour Quantum Akasha sessions are $323. So this is a significant difference. And how those work is I record the 20-minute Akashic session, and within 5 business days, you receive a link to go listen to it, and you could download it if you would like. So I've got that. I have a very small and limited number of special pricing on my quantum clearing and energetic repair. These are 1-hour sessions. I'm also offering those as a 3-session, 15 to 21 day container package, in which you get a much better session rate if you buy 3 at once. And I have other 3 packs that are on my store as well. And then intuitive conversation and light energy clearing is also a December promotion. Intuitive conversation is entry level. So if you're new to energy work, you're new to all of this, you're wanting some guidance, you want to talk to me, you want to get my advice or my intuitive, energetic impressions on something, this is the session to book. And I do light energy clearing on this body and this energy field. We're not in the quantum. We're not looking at multiple of your soul's expressions. We're just dealing with this body. And then most people, after one of those sessions, are ready to either go into a 3-session multi-pack or move up into the really deep and quantum clearing that we talked about. So those are all, normally Intuitive Conversation is $313. It is on special for $224 for all of December. And I also have, I think I offered 8, the first 8 who reach out to me actually get that 1-hour session for $170. So if you want to book that, you email me directly to get one of those. And I do have a few of those left. So if you would, today is only December 1st, so there's still time to get one of those or to book your Intuitive Conversation at $224 for the rest of December. Anyway, like I mentioned, for people who are really, really struggling and they want a securely contained, very efficient depth quantum energy work session, I do recommend reaching out to myself or Yael. Yael1111 is her Twitter handle, so that we can get you scheduled for one of our very special joint targeted individual quantum clearing and energetic repair sessions. And you can do that by emailing either one of us. So I hope these are some good options for your energy work needs. All of my things, including Akashic Records and BQH and all the other stuff that I offer, is available on my booking page as well. I just wanted to mention a few of my promos for you. So again, thank you guys so much for being here. I'm sending you so much love during this time. Please let me know if I can help you, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye.